I am Marcella Pricilia, a bachelor student of Faculty of Letters and Cultures from Gunadarma University, Indonesia. I would like to talk about terrorism. From the two terrorism cases that I have read, both from the seaside bombing in Makassar and also the terror at the South Jakarta Police Headquarters, the two suspects of these cases are young people who are still around 25 years old. The researcher also said that many young people were caught in terrorist groups via the internet and were given a shortcut to heaven if they carried out a suicide bombing. Currently, there is reportedly a lot of easy recruitment of new members via the internet or social media. The government is also asked to be more aggressive in supervising the recruitment of terrorists via the internet and fixing the de-radicalization program for former terrorists. The National Counterterrorism Agency said it had collaborated with various parties to continue to tackle the radical content on social media. In my opinion, about the current terrorist case is that we as young people must be aware, especially when using the internet or social media. It may seem to be a minor detail, but it can have a significant effect. We can use the internet to find as much information as we want, but we must be open-minded about what we learn. We must be able to think critically about any existing issue to avoid being easily influenced by information that is not accurate or even harmful. We must always think positively and bring our fight closer to God Almighty, because in my opinion, when we talk about cases of terrorism, it is not related to a religion, but rather a personal one for each individual. How do we personally define the true meaning of life? The lack of understanding the true meaning of life can be rooted in many factors such as due to lack of education, low education, broken families, deep dissatisfaction with oneself or others, disappointment with religion, frustration with life, mental disorders, limited economy, losing loved one, never getting recognition and appreciation, high pressure, and so on. This all causes an accumulation that threatens his or her survival and makes him or her vulnerable to bad viruses in life, such as the cause of terrorism in this case. And the best way to prevent or even eliminate terrorism and associated movement is the culture of love. A culture of love that includes actions, words, deeds, and so on. When a person knows that you are loved, he or she feels owned and has a sense of worth over his or her life. He or she would be stronger of living life and less susceptible to doctrines that are not by the truth, such as the doctrine of terrorism, for example. So the conclusion, we as the millennial generation must always think critically to manage all incoming issues. And the best thing we can do in life is to keep our hearts and minds so that we are not easily influenced or provoked by doctrines that cannot be verified. We must also be able to extend a culture of love to our neighbors, such as paying attention or caring, so that our close friends and others don't feel alone or drowned in untrue feelings, as well as the disappointments that result in being easily influenced by the doctrines or an inappropriate understanding meaning of life. Thank you very much for listening to me.